I would like to welcome everyone to today's presentation on why you can't buy the trading stairway to heaven, with apologies to Led Zeppelin, of course. My name's Michael Guess. I'm the president and CEO of TradeSafe. And today I would like to share with you why your brain is either going to be your biggest ally or your biggest problem, your biggest foe. And I'm going to introduce myself here, move along a little bit further. There we go. That's me. And I want to thank you for taking time out to join me at this part of the presentation. I hope that all of what you've been soaking up today with Timing Research and David and the gang has been worth your while. And I hope that what I contribute will be also worth your while. I want to start out, though, with 3 promises. First, I do want to promise that by the end of this presentation, you're going to know precisely why you haven't been having any consistent winners and why you keep losing. I'm not saying you're losing all the time, but you're not consistently profitable. Isn't that what we really want? Well, the second promise by the end of today's presentation is going to be, you're going to know which tools really matter. I'm not talking about the latest flavor of the moment indicator. I'm talking about the trading psychology and discipline tools that are so very important to make your trading work. And I'll finally end up with this third promise that I'm going to actually show you how you can combine all these things and run a real winning trading business, because I don't want you to be dilettantes or amateurs. You'll be too low on the food chain. I want to show you what it takes to actually run a real business. So for those of you out there who are trying to replace your current job income with your trading income, I'm going to give you some valuable tips, tricks, and techniques. So why am I qualified to say all these things, make these promises? Well, I've been doing this for quite a while. I've been a professional trader, primarily day trading, for over 25 years. And I founded TradeSafe about 20 years ago. I've created a whole host of custom indicators along the way, and I invented various mechanical trading systems, of which maybe a little later I might refer briefly to the TradeSafe mechanical trading system. But the main thing today is trading psychology and discipline. And I believe I'm also qualified to address that because in a past life, I was a psychotherapist. So I bring that to the table. I know what it takes to make sure that you can try to stop that self-sabotaging behavior and trade more like a machine. Okay? I also have some additional qualifications. I've been through the mill over those many years, 25 or so. I learned what not to do way back in the late 90s during the so-called dot-com bubble. And again, about 10 years later, during the big recession, I learned what worked and did not work. And of course, we're currently in the middle of the COVID situation and pretty much an economic meltdown. So I've learned a lot about how to stay consistent and how to keep an even keel mentally. And along the way, I have personally coached more than 4,000 students. So if you're watching me right now, this is being recorded. Now, David and the gang over at Timing Research, they're doing theirs, but I'm going to do a backup on my own computer that I will be happy to share with you at the end of the presentation. And I'll send you a link to that recording in a series of follow-up emails. So you want to keep an eye out for them. Okay? All right. You notice I'm taking my time because I don't want to try to hype you up. I want you to just kind of stay relaxed and focused. And you're going to have some questions. So I'm sure you know how to use the chat feature in Zoom. If not, well, start typing something. How about if you would start out right now and let me know that you can at least see and hear me by typing a yes. Let me get some feedback from all of you attendees, all of you traders out there. Let me get some feedback. At least I know that you're there and not just logged in. Okay, thank you, Victor and Sajad. It's a couple of people. How about a few more? Thank you, Alok. Okay, great, great, great. And Daniel, thank you so much. All right, now you're going to have questions and I want you to ask them. I will keep an eye on those questions on my other monitor, but I do want you to know I'm going to make a special opportunity for you. You're bound to have a lot more questions after this is all over about how can you solve these dilemmas about self-sabotaging behavior? How can you forge diamond hard discipline? How can you make your trading really consistent? Not so much about, oh, what's the indicator that will make me reach for the stars? You're going to want to ask me questions about today's content. And I am going to, as a follow-up, I'm going to send you a link and you will be able to click on that link and you'll see my calendar and the best times and dates that work for you. And what I'm going to invite you to do is just schedule time with me. It will not be a sales call. I absolutely promise that. I'm not going to twist your arm or hustle you in any way. I want you to feel that you're getting what you missed out of today's presentation. Or if you thought of new questions, I'll even set aside a full hour of my time. So those slots do fill up fast. You will want to schedule as soon as you get that link. I'll even share that link with you at the end of the presentation, and David will also post it in the chat window. Great. Now I'm going to start right out with, I hope you don't think I'm insulting you, but I think almost 100% of you are amateurs. Now, we all started somewhere at the beginning. Nobody was born a professional. I wasn't. I mean, I stumbled around for quite a while before I got some traction and found really useful direction in my own trading. So first, let's acknowledge where you are on the roadmap. You're an amateur. And that means you're low on the food chain because you are competing against professionals. They've got a lot of built-in advantages. They've got better trading tools. They run their operations like a real business, which is what I'm going to share with you today, how to do that, because I want to level the playing field so that you will know what it takes to be a professional trader. Even if all you want to do is part-time trade or supplement your income, let's admit, if all you want to do is just kind of be a dilettante and play with trading, well, you're going to lose money. You might as well go to Las Vegas. But if you want to seriously make consistent profits, well, stay tuned, because trading is a business. It's a lot more than just your mindset. And I'm going to show you what it takes to begin with the mindset and branch out so that you can run it like a real business. Now, a lot of us, myself included, boy, I was passionate about trading when I started. Well, that's not enough. You've got to have the kind of commitment that makes you stick to it and not just say, well, I don't know, this isn't working for me, I'm going to quit, I'm going to go do something else. You either really have this in your blood and you want to trade, you want to make money this way, or you don't. But if you do, well, I'm going to give you what you need. Because otherwise, you're going to have years and years of wasted time. Many people come to me as a port of last resort, and they say, well, I've been trading now for 3 years, 10 years, 15 years. I've had people tell me they've been trading more than 20 years, and they still haven't been able to make money consistently. And that's because they haven't learned how to master what's between their ears, as well as the tools they use. So you need to do both of those things. If you do it, you know what you're going to get? The true holy grail of trading itself, which is not an indicator or a system. The true holy grail of trading is consistency. That's what you need. Because if you run it like a business, any business has to be consistent in order to survive and even thrive. Okay? So feel free to jump in and ask questions at any point. I know I'm just kind of making some statements and making a case here, but I want to begin now with the importance of what is called trading psychology. Otherwise, we call it trading discipline. In my personal experience, other than having a real edge in your trading, like you have a system that's proven or something that at least theoretically has been proven to work, you know what the most important thing is? It's your trading psychology and your discipline. Because even if you have a so-called winning system, it's not enough if you don't follow the rules consistently. With my own TradeSafe mechanical trading system, it's a Boolean logic trading system, and it's almost totally automated, about 95%, but I still require the students that I train and coach to follow the rules before they pull the trigger and take that trade. Because if you are inconsistent in your behaviors, the system can't work the way it was designed. So discipline is a critically important component, not just in trading, but if you're an athlete, you know the importance if you're going to excel and be one of the top tier athletes. And certainly the military discipline is the foundation of why the military works as efficiently as it does. And let's face it, any business requires consistency, and that's also discipline. But you may be surprised to learn that even people in the creative endeavors, actors, performers, singers, artists, they need discipline too. So you need to know how to manage your emotions. You need to manage yourself, because this all is going to build a consistent foundation. So if you really want the holy grail of trading, which is consistent returns, you need a winning edge, a true system, by the way, and I'll get into that a little more later, but I'm just going to go on the record right now and say that, hey, an indicator by itself is not sufficient to make money consistently. Even if you've got a few indicators and somebody said, well, do this and do that when this and that happens, you know what? It's probably very subjective and discretionary. You need absolute black and white, true Boolean logic. And that's what a real mechanical system is. So let's say you got that. Unless it's trading all by itself, which I'm not a fan of auto trading systems because they can't consider every conceivable opportunity. So far, human brains are still superior to auto trading systems. But let's say you've got a mechanical trading system, you still got to pull the trigger. You still have to fulfill all the conditions before you pull the trigger and place the trade. And that's where the discipline comes in. So how do you achieve that combination? It all begins with a combination of set and setting. For those who know anything about psychology, you know that your personal well-being, your attitude, and all that depends on what's in between your ears, your set of beliefs, your emotions, and all that stuff, plus all the things around you that are influencing you, because they can change the way you feel. So you need to know what set and setting are and how to manage them. And I'm going to teach that to you today. Before we do it though, I do want to blow up a few myths about trading. Number one, I already said it, one indicator or even a combination of indicators, unless it's a true Boolean logic mechanical system, ain't gonna work. Your flavor of the month is you just got to let it go. I can't tell you how many people come to me and they said, well, I bought this, I bought that, and I tried it for a while and I made a little money and I didn't make much more and I lost it and I gave it back. And I hear the same story over and over again. The flavor of the month isn't going to help you. You need a true mechanical system. Now, here's another myth. People assume that whatever your tool is, whether it's a system or an indicator, it's plug and play time because all the markets, they behave the same. No, they don't. Markets have personalities just like you and I do. Some markets are very aggressive, very volatile. Some markets are lame and sleepy. And you know, you need to be able to identify the personality of each market that you trade, and you need to adapt and adjust to that market's personality. How many of you knew that already? Give me a little feedback. I don't want anybody going to sleep here. I know I'm kind of going slowly, but let me know if you had assumed that markets were the same. Yep, some of you people already knew that they aren't the same. Right. Well, this is a wake-up call because I don't care how expensive your software is that you're using, it is not going to work the same on every single stock or every Forex combination. It isn't going to work the same on your options. It isn't going to work the same on any futures or commodities. You need to discover how those individual markets work. They are absolutely not the same. And here's another thing that a lot of beginners or amateurs discover all too painfully. Oh, I'm just going to sim trade for a little bit and then I'm going to start trading my account. Oh boy, that is a recipe for disaster. If you're just starting out, I want you to know right now that you need to go through a set of proofs, and I'll show you how to do that before we're finished. It's called benchmarking. Just a few simulation trades are not enough. And please don't jump in and start trading your live account before you have an authentic, viable track record. Otherwise, it's disaster time. Here's something that maybe a lot of you assumed, you've heard it said, market efficiency. All markets are efficient and fair. That's a myth too. Markets are not efficient. They can be very inefficient as far as the fills you get, as far as the factors about whether the exchange is processing things the same way or the size of your trades, etc. There is no such thing as a consistently efficient and fair market. So get over it. Here's one though that I will be happily blowing up. Trading has to be complicated and hard. Well, when I started out, I was a sponge. I soaked up everything I could and I tried it all. You know, I thought I was going to buy that stairway to heaven. I bought this, I bought that, I traded this, I traded that. And pretty soon though, I was bumping into a brick wall because I was saying, man, this new stuff is hard or it's complicated. Particularly people who want to day trade, they think it's got to be complicated or that you got to have fast reflexes and stuff like that. Actually, it depends on your methodology. If you have a system that is real straightforward, trade safe system is, it's not complicated, it's not hard. And here's the last one. People assume that your behavior doesn't matter. Your attitude, your emotions, your discipline doesn't matter. Here's that buying this soft stairway to heaven thing again. They think, oh, if I buy this latest thing that I heard a great webinar on, oh, it's going to make me money. It'll be an ATM machine. And then they find out it doesn't. Your behavior absolutely does matter. And I'm not taking a pot shot at any of my co-presenters here, but I have used subliminal recordings extensively in the past, and it's a one-note approach. Subliminal programmed recordings are not sufficient by themselves. You need an array of tools in order to get to your goals. Okay? So let's start with that set and setting thing. First set, your mindset. That's, are you focused? Are you calm? Are you rested? And do you have a positive attitude? Or are you sitting down to trade and you've got distractions in your head and, maybe you're worried about something? You shouldn't be trading. You need to have the discipline to get out of that chair and not trade if you have a mindset that's distracted. So how do you reinforce a good mindset? Well, there's a lot of things you can do. One thing that a lot of people don't realize that's quite powerful are simple routines, habits. You see, the brain thrives on consistent behavior, little chunks of habitual behavior. As long as they're consistent and repetitious, the brain soaks them up and it puts them right in your subconscious, and then that becomes part of your routine. But you need daily routines. Just like, you get up if you're going to work, you know how to shower and brush your teeth and dress and all that stuff. You need routines as part of your trading. And also, if you've got issues with emotional stuff, you need to have tools, which I'll share with you later, that will neutralize those emotional distractions, those things that can cost you a lot of money. So, as I said, routines, simple as they are, your brain loves them. Small, consistent patterns. Your brain is nothing more than a meaning-making machine. It thrives on patterns. And when it gets them, what does it do? It sends them to your subconscious. That's your autopilot, because probably 85, maybe 90% of your day, you're on auto. Nobody wants to stop and know how to tie their shoelace every single time, or tie their tie, or anything else. You have these automatic behaviors that you've built up over the course of your life. Only problem is you've programmed those little subconscious behaviors really inconsistently. So what you want to do is know how to program the right ones in, and you need to know how to neutralize or weed out the ones that are counterproductive. One tool that I would love to share with you that is really, really good for weeding out subconscious self-sabotaging programs in your behaviors as far as trading goes. It was not invented for trading. It was actually invented about 25 years ago as a cure for PTSD. When medications weren't working, this helped a lot of our soldiers coming back who were shattered, frankly. And every time they heard a loud noise or saw something that gave them an automatic reaction, they'd either hit the deck or they'd go into a fight or flight mode. Well, they wanted to stop that. And there was something that was created that could do it consistently. It became what is called meridian therapy, sometimes called EFT, or emotional freedom technique therapy. Now, if you've heard of that, I would love for you to type yes. If you haven't heard of it, type no, because I'm going to share with you a little bit about how it works and how you can use it on everything, since it wasn't invented for trading. Okay, some people have heard about it and a lot of people don't know what the heck it is. Okay. Imagine if you combined acupuncture, but instead of needles, you were going to use your fingertips and tap at these meridians, just like the acupuncture meridians are, which is where your neural energy is flowing. and you are using a form of what's called NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming, which I was trained in, to open up your mind to where it is receptive to these suggestions, and you're going to neutralize or bring down the reactive level of those automatic behaviors. So when it was originally invented for the soldiers, guess who caught on first? Athletes, because they had to operate under real high pressure conditions, right? And they had to be able to excel consistently. Well, athletes loved it. How many of you know what the yips are? How many of you are golfers and know what the yips are? Nobody? Okay. YIPS. Okay, one person knows. If you're, say, 6 inches from the cup and it's a gimme putt and you're going to stroke it in and you get a spasm in your wrist and you just hit it way too hard and it just bangs over the cup and goes beyond. People have spent thousands of dollars trying to cure the yips. Meridian or EFT therapy can cure it in 5 to 10 minutes. So what I'm trying to share with you is you can use it on anything. Whether you get upset when you're driving, somebody cuts you off, maybe your spouse uses a tone of voice that you don't like, and you find yourself getting all wound up, you can tap it away. This is a powerful tool. So we use that in the course that accompanies the TradeSafe system. I invite you to look into it on your own. Here is a link. Now that's a long link. So if you don't want to copy it down, you can simply go to Amazon and do a search in Amazon for a guy named Dawson Church, and also for EFT. So Dawson Church EFT, and it'll pull up the manual. And it's a very inexpensive little handbook. It's small, it's rather thin, it's dead drop, easy to use, and it will show you how you can get up to speed really quickly on using Meridian or EFT therapy. Okay? All right. So if you do these kinds of things, you manage to eliminate that self-sabotaging behavior, you're starting to develop that diamond hard discipline. Your goal when you're a trader, especially if you're a day trader, is to stay in the present moment. You stay in the present moment, you will trade far better without mental distractions. Your brain is not built for holding a lot of thoughts. It's built for creativity. So offload all that distraction and just use your brain for being in the moment and take those trades without any consideration. Just be on autopilot. You've been trained to do it. Take that trade, take that trade, take that trade. Now, one thing that can help you do that, meditation. Now, meditation, by this time, I mean, 50 years ago, people thought it was woo-woo. Nowadays, all the psychologists and pretty much anyone involved in trying to improve physical and mental performance know how powerful meditation can be to enhance your performance. How many of you meditate right now? Type yes. Good. Some of you do. Occasionally, okay. There is a simple device. I didn't type a link for it, but it's a one-word answer. Go Google the word Muse, M-U-S-E, or Muse meditation. And this little headband is an EEG feedback device that will keep you in a state of meditation super duper easy. If you've ever tried and failed, as I did for many years, I was one of those couldn't get it to work, but finally did. Muse is a fast track to it. But I don't care how you do it. Just do it for, maybe 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, maybe once or twice a day, whatever. That's all you really need. When you start doing that, you're going to notice after a few weeks a big improvement in your attitude as well as in your actual performance. Okay? Anybody have any questions about that? All right. Now I'm going to introduce you to something else that's a little bit more exotic. Has anyone ever heard of light and sound entrainment? Brainwave entrainment through light and sound. Anybody? Oh, Eva has. Okay. Yeah, sure. There are various apps you can put on your phone, for example. Like if you have an iPhone, there is an app, and I'm going to pull mine up right now. It's called Mind Lights, MINDLIGHTZ. Now, it's free. You can use any one of 80 different programs, some of which put you in meditation, others will help you fall asleep. I use it with earbuds to fall asleep every night, and I fall asleep in 9 minutes or less. That's how quick it works. It entrains your brains. But if you want to go whole hog, Mind Lights also sells what looks like a pair of goggles or shades that have LEDs inside of them, hidden behind a Gauss field, and they're colored. And what'll happen is they will blink on and off in various patterns that match the sounds that you hear. The combination of the lights blinking at various rates along with the sounds at various rates, sometimes ping-ponging back and forth, sometimes using binaural, other kinds of things, you will go into a state of entrainment extremely fast. I've been experimenting with light and sound for over 30 years. Neil says he uses it for Parkinson's. Well, that's good to know, Neil. Maybe that's why I have something called benign tremor, and so far it's never progressed to Parkinson's. Muse is spelled, for the person who asked about it, M-U-S-E, like be my muse. You're my muse, right? Okay, great. So those are some pretty cool tools to help adjust what's between your ears. But what about the things that are outside of your head? That's your setting. That's your trading environment. You want to make sure that you can control the room you're in, the temperature, the distractions, and all that sort of stuff. I'll get into more of that a little bit later, but one of the things that people, particularly day traders, they don't do enough of, take a lot of breaks. Has anyone ever heard of the Pomodoro technique? P-O-M-O-D-O-R-O, Pomodoro? All right. You want to take breaks every 20 to 30 minutes or so, because sitting is the new smoking. If you want to eliminate brain fog, you've got to get up. Please let go of the notion that I'm going to miss that trade if I'm not there. Oh, get over it. You know what's more likely to happen? You're going to sit there too long with brain fog. You're going to make an expensive mistake. Wouldn't you rather preserve your capital and be in tip-top shape and be there when and if the next one comes along? Because it's not how many trades you take. It's the condition you're in when you take the trade. So take a lot of breaks. Make sure that you hydrate a lot. Please manage your caffeine intake. Don't take energy drinks. Stop that. I take coffee. Yeah, coffee's okay. It's actually healthy for you in moderation. I recommend something called bulletproof coffee. How many of you have ever heard of bulletproof coffee? You love bulletproof coffee. Oh, she's very informed. Okay. You can Google that, but basically, if you just go to bulletproof.com, a guy named Dave Asprey, who is into longevity and life extension and all that good stuff, he found out that if you take coffee preferably organic coffee that doesn't have mold and other bad things in it, because they actually do affect your thinking. You want to put a pat of butter in it after it's hot and brewed. And you want to also put something called MCT oil. That's medium chain triglyceride oil. That's brain food. That's a derivative of coconut oil, but it's safe for you and it feeds your brain. So what'll happen is if you put those together and blend them 15, 20 seconds, you've got this, what looks like a cappuccino. And it's real tasty, and you will have a nice smooth lift, and you'll stay up longer, and you'll taper off much more gradually. You won't have that boom crash thing. Okay? It is not a type of scotch. That was from Hatish. Okay, MCT is medium chain triglyceride. If you go to Google, go to Amazon and Google MCT, you will find all different kinds of them. Try to find ones that are highly rated, okay? And you only want to put a tablespoon in your coffee along with a pat of butter and blend it. That will help manage things, okay? Now I'm going to go way off the deep end here for all of you adventurers that want the real cutting edge. Who knows what nootropics are? Nobody? Okay, it's another form of brain food. Yep, Brad does. Nootropics are things that can affect more than just the way your brain operates. It can affect your metabolism and so forth and so on. I've been using them for close to 30 or 40 years. There is a safe source of good nootropics on the net. Go to webnutrients.com. You'll find all kinds of cool stuff there. I personally use something called LZT. It's sort of an energy drink that also tunes up your brain. And if you sip it throughout the day, you don't even need coffee. And you have no crash, absolutely. There you go. We're getting a good response here. All right, now we're going to back away from the exotic stuff. Turn off your TV, turn off all the news, all that other crap. If you're a day trader especially, the very latest information, folks, is in your charts. Because by the time you hear it on the TV, you know, if you're watching, I forget, dang, I don't even watch it anymore. It's been so long. I've forgotten the name of the financial channel on TV with Maria Bartiromo and the gang and all them, but don't watch it. By the time it hits there, it's old. It shows up in your charts, CNBC, thanks. By the time it's in your charts, that's when you need to act on it. Finally, you will want to have, if you can spare it, a dedicated room in your living space just for trading. Now, that may not be possible if you got kids or you have to do it at the kitchen table or something else. But whenever possible, have a room you can close the door and have rules and keep people out. They're not allowed to enter while you're trading. And here's one. I know this is going to piss some of you off. If you're a day trader, get rid of all of those other monitors, no more than 3. Multitasking has been thoroughly disproven. It will overload your brain. No more than 3 monitors, please. Okay? All right. Now, here's some more tools. If you are wanting consistent feedback, that's what you want, so you get consistent results, garbage in, garbage out. You want to stop, especially if you're a day trader, you got to stop jumping from trade to trade. You need a trading journal. I provide a pre-formatted journal as part of the course that accompanies my TradeSafe system. It is an essential device for trading diagnostics. If you don't have any clue about what to put into it, try to think about what you need to know about why that trade worked or didn't work. Okay? That way, you will be able to learn from your mistakes. I require that of my students. Also, if you're going to run this thing like a business, you need a statistical tracker, in plain English, a spreadsheet. Have one that at least tracks all of the performance variables that are important to you. Not just am I making any money, but if you're a day trader, maybe which chart gave you the best results, which time of day, which day of week, or which exit strategy, all of those things. Put those in your spreadsheet. And if you're really serious about running it like a business, you need a business plan. And not just those pie in the sky goals. You need to be able to have the limits, like what do you do if you have 3 losers in a row? Are you going to keep digging a hole, or are you going to quit trading? You got to have limits on how much money you're going to lose in a day or a week, or a percentage drawdown for your approach to trading. You need those things. And while you're trading, have a plan. Monitor the changes during the day of trend and congestion and so on. Jot them down. Don't keep them in your head. Dump that stuff on a piece of paper. And of course, I'm assuming if you're serious, you're using professional grade hardware. You know, easy computers, they're a good source of the best PCs. Make sure you have an uninterruptible power supply. If the power goes down, get the fastest internet connection you can. And make sure that the broker you use is professional grade. I'm sorry, E-Trader and all those others are amateurs. We have a saying in Texas, where I live in Austin, Texas. Don't take a knife into a gunfight. Use professional grade software, use professional brokers. Make sure that your broker has a ultra fast trading desk. They will pick up the phone on the first or second ring if you need them to. Make sure they have really exceptional back office and that they are very flexible with whatever your setup is, whether you have an LLC, a sub S, or something else that you're trading in that format. And use professional grade software. Sorry, Thinkorswim doesn't cut it. It's good for options, but it sucks on day trading. You need NinjaTrader or something else. I personally recommend NinjaTrader. I don't get paid to say that. All right? Now, let's keep going. Benchmarking. I get really worked up about benchmarking because it is the most important thing at the end of the course my students have to accomplish. All along the way, they've been doing their work, they've been practice trading, they've been in my coaching room, and they've been following what I've been showing them and all that good stuff. But until they've been benchmarked, it doesn't mean anything. What the heck is benchmarking? Well, you need to have, first of all, a statistically viable sample of at least 30 trades. Don't commingle them with all your other trades. Have a separate worksheet in your statistical tracker. And you want to choose the best possible setups that you took trades on. And here's why. Before you do benchmarking, well, you were trying all kinds of things to see what worked. You were pretty much throwing jelly at the wall. Journaling, if you were doing it properly, helped you identify what did not work. You might find out that, oh, every time I saw a support or resistance level nearby my entry or target, those trades tended to fail. If you see those conditions again, why in the heck would you want to take that trade? That's stupidity. You want to always choose the best of the best conditions for your setups. Even if you're trading a true mechanical system and seeing the same signals that I have or my students have, you know what? You're different because I don't know if you're aggressive. I don't know if you are a conservative person. Benchmarking will show what works for your personality. The spreadsheet will reveal the true performance, like if you're day trading, which chart you took the trade on that worked best, which market worked the best, which exit strategy worked the best. You're reverse engineering those statistically viable sample of 30 trades. This will calibrate the market to your personality because We're not the same. We're not clones. That's why it's the biggest lie in the trading industry is they say, this will work for all of you. Well, theoretically it will, but until you've benchmarked it to you, you won't know if it actually does. You need a true performance metric between yourself and your system. So once you've done that, and that's on a each market basis, if you want to try and trade a different market than you've been trading before, you got to benchmark that new market. Don't be lazy. Benchmark any new market that you trade because they are all different. We established that at the beginning of this, didn't we? Professionals do benchmarking. So if you want to be higher on the food chain and be a professional, you learn how to benchmark and use a true system. So my goal at the end of this presentation, we're almost finished, is I want to show you how to put all of this together and trade with real, true discipline. Here is how you can do it. Now, this is the link that I hope David is ready to post in the chat window, if he's around. If not, you will see the replay, either that he'll give it to you, and there's the link. Now, please don't leave now. Stay with me. I'm just letting you have that link so you can go there. This is going to be the replay page that you will go to after I get a copy of the recording. Right now, if you go there, there is no recording, okay? I can't change time. So later tonight, we should have everything from David. I should have the replay uploaded into the archives. If you click on that link, what will happen is you will get a full replay of everything you've seen here this afternoon, depending on where you live. All of the tips, tricks, tools, and techniques about discipline, trading psychology, how to run your trading like a business and be a professional. So I kind of expanded the parameters a little bit because I believe they go together, hand in glove. But beyond just watching the replay so that you can go, okay, now I know how to start doing some of those things Michael said. Remember, I also told you at the beginning of this presentation that you have questions, and a lot of you asked questions. I'm really grateful that you did, but you're going to have a lot more questions. Maybe even you want to ask me about the TradeSafe system and find some more about it. If you're interested in the TradeSafe system, you can always go to daytradesafe.com/replay. That's all one word, daytradesafe.com/replay. And you can see the last webinar I did that walked somebody through how the system works. But again, I'm not here to sell anything today. I'm just saying if you're at all interested in it, but you're bound to have some questions about today, or maybe even about the system, or anything at all about your trading. I'm here to provide you with a no obligation, no pressure, free 1-hour diagnostic consultation of my time. This is not a sales pitch thing. This is my time that I will answer all your questions and help guide you towards what you need to be doing in your trading. This is as if you had come to me as a shrink once before. I will help you with what you need to be a successful, consistent trader. So that's included when you click on that link later tonight. You'll get to watch the replay, and you will also have on that same page a link to my scheduler. It'll show my calendar and the times that I'm available, and you can pick whatever works for you. So here's that link once again, and it's already been posted. David did it. So you pick the best date and time that works for you. The slots do fill up pretty fast. And again, I promise you, this is not a sales pitch event. I am absolutely just going to answer your questions and try to help guide you toward being a better trader and help you with any psychological things that maybe are coming between you and being a consistently profitable trader. Maybe you've got analysis paralysis. Maybe you overtrade a lot, whatever it is. But before you call me after you've scheduled, and you'll get some reminder emails and some reminder text on your phone, watch the replay of what we're doing here now. That way you'll feel better prepared. Mark is saying the offer. I am not offering anything for sale today. I am offering to help guide you with that call to what you need. Obviously, if you're interested in the Trade Safe system, I will be very low pressure. I will answer your questions about it and I will introduce you to it. And I've already told you a link so you can go watch the webinar. So yes, Mark, that's as close as I'm going to come to an offer. I'm not one of those people that hits people over the head. I'm an ethical, I don't want to diss any of my colleagues, so I'll stop there. So and there's that link again. So I do want to say thank you, everybody. Remember, book that free consultation. If the replay isn't up, when you click on it, wait till a little bit later. It will be. Give me time to upload it to the archives. But at least while you're there, you can schedule time with me. So I've got a final question. Eva's already given me a compliment. She said, thank you for a very valuable presentation. Do you feel, folks, that you've learned some pretty interesting and helpful things today? Oh yeah, very enlightening. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, 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 yes. Sure, 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 sure. Really nice content. Very good. Okay. Well, I want to say thank you for taking time out at this time of the day. So what I'm going to do is stop sharing my screen and turn it over to David and say thanks to Timing Research.